gente. Vamos con The Outer Worlds. De Chile. ¿Qué onda?
You read the latest report?
Only the part that said we ain't making our quotas.
If only McDevitt's folk hadn't abandoned us. Cannery could use those extra hands.
Oh, I almost forgot. I'm contractually obligated to recite company slogans to any visitors. Plague got you feeling woozy? Get yourself boozy with Spacer's Choice. Go ahead.
Uf.
The Hope? No, I've never mixed a drink by that name. I could get you a rum and something if you like. Wait, no, never mind. We're all out of something. You feeling a bit flushed? Look, why don't you go set yourself down in the corner before you get all tangle-footed?
Tremendo.
Would you keep your voice down? You're gonna get the whole cantina written up. The Hope's folklore, all right? 60, 70-year-old folklore by now. The board don't approve of spreading seditious rumors and falsehoods. You're inviting trouble talking that way, and I don't want a part of it.
Tiene la peste, ¿no?
Look, either shut your gob or stick a drink in it. We're done talking about this.
Sí.
Coming right up. You tried the best, now try the rest. Spacer's Choice. Do you now? And what makes you think Mr. Thompson wants to talk to you? He's a busy man. You want to talk to Mr. Thompson, try ignoring your duties. He'll summon you up to that great big tower atop the cannery, and you'll get yourself a proper dressing down. It is a good thing. If you're not pulling your weight, you don't deserve to live here. Simple as that. Go ahead. I don't see how that's any of your business.
Evidentemente no.
You're the first to ask after me in some time. I'll give you that. But I don't have a story to share. My family's worked Spacer's Choice for 2 generations, and I've lived in Edgewater just about all my life. Wanted to work in the sciences once upon a time. Would you believe it? That was a wild fancy. Glad I disabused myself. What happened, you ask? What always happens when you're dreaming? I woke up. I just didn't have the brains for it. Asked too many questions. Wasn't suited to the work. So I did the right thing and worked the life I was always meant to live. Now that I'm behind a bar, I can ask all the questions I want. Important ones. Like, when are you gonna pay your tab? And would you like another round of cold, refreshing 0G?
Rica y fresquita.
Don't talk to me that way, please. Spent many years disabusing myself of that notion. Don't need you putting it back in my head. Lab work ain't for me. Never was. Never will be. Spacer's Choice put me where I belong, and for that, I am grateful. They did. They gave me a life. Gave me a purpose. This is where I belong.
Será.
What's wrong with that? It's good, honest work. Pots and pans don't fill themselves. Glasses don't fill themselves either.
Tienes razón.
Unless you're in Byzantium. I hear everything's automated there. Not that I'll ever find out. Not so fast. I told you about my life. Your turn to tell me about yours. So, what's your story? That right? Prove it.
Prove it.
I already asked you not to bring that up around me. Change the subject or buy something.
Bueno.
Ugh, is this the start of a joke? If you want me to laugh at your jokes, it's a 3-drink minimum. Look, I don't know what you're blathering about. If you took a blow to your skull, you really should settle down with some zero-G. Anyhow, whatever happens outside the walls is not my business. Only deserters and marauders wander out there, and I cannot tell you which I revile more.
Ooh.
My world is these 4 walls, that door, and a row of mugs that need cleaning. Let me make something clear. Spacer's Choice has been real good to me. The town's been real good to me. I start gallivanting around outside the walls, poking around in places I shouldn't be, learning things I've got no right to know. People will talk. Won't ever catch me asking about the world outside. Else the town's gonna say Amelia's gone soft. That Amelia's pondering desertion. I don't want that. There you go with that thinking again. Didn't anyone ever tell you it's dangerous? I've said enough. People come here to drink their problems away. If they wanted to face their problems, they'd go see our vicar.
Bueno. Hola, buenas van acá. Un pie no, se puede tocar. Muy jugado. A ver qué más hay. Estos son... Ajá.
Please don't touch anything. Your hands are probably crawling with germs. Physical hygiene recapitulates moral hygiene. Cleanliness is next to lawfulness.
Si quieres te enseño. Puño.
So everyone says, until someone forgets to cough into their elbow, and then we're all dying of plague. I'm Conrad. You will report to me if your hair fails to meet Spacer's Choice aesthetic standards. You will also report to me in the event of your death, whereupon I will clean and prepare your remains for interment. Burial, in the unfortunate event of a fatality. It's what a barber does. We make you presentable.
Creo que los barberos no hacen eso, ¿no? ¿No?
Go ahead. The plague's come at us with a vengeance this year. Lost 6 workers in as many months. I wouldn't call them good workers, mind you. If they were any good, they'd have been treated. Still, it is a shame. Fever, chills, fatigue, aching, vomiting, an excess of phlegm, a tendency towards belly aching. Whatever it may be, I have developed my own palliative. Boiled canid liver and a splash of ethanol. Company policy, friend. We don't have enough medicine to treat all of us, so we treat the best among us. Nature is monstrous, friend, and this plague is natural selection at work.
Tremendo tenía la morra con el colchón.
distance, friend. Sick house is no place for a traveler.
Ya me quiero meter en la casa de los enfermos, la verdad.
If you're falling sick, I don't want you near me.
Don't worry. I wouldn't do that to you.
Wonder if the plague's ever gonna pass.
A ver si hay algo más para explorar. Tremendo. Necesito el mismo lugar.
Miss Holcomb, I need you to explain this just the grease monkey, Argo.
I'm sorry, Mr. Thompson, sir. You asked why it's taking so long to fix. The answer's technical.
Don't apologize. Just try using small words for me.
The can's bust open in the oven because she's set to cook saltuna, which isn't what we've got. Mr. Thompson? I think there's someone here to see you.
Focus, Miss Holcomb. You and I are still talking. Let's start over. Walk me through the process. Show me where it's going awry.
Well, sure. It's, mostly on account of what we're feeding into the mechanism.
Esto es lo que leímos.
Food in cans. We have food, we have cans. Why won't it work like we need?
She's expecting saltuna of a certain size. We're filling the cans with, well, not fish.
Seems we've got a guest. Really now, Parvati, I do wish you'd spoken up. I do apologize. I was given no forewarning of your arrival, or I might have welcomed you at the gates myself. You were saying, Miss Holcomb.
It's just what Bess needs is a proper refurbish. I can bandage her up and what all, but she's just old. Sorry, I'm sorry. I'll do better.
And I do wish you'd stop referring to our cannery as Bess. Personification of company property is strictly contrary to the Spacer's Choice Code of Conduct. My apologies. I am not in the habit of allowing my guests to witness such a row. Now, what can I do for you?
Y esta acá le tengo que pedir, no pisen nada.
I'm Reed Thompson, Outpost Administrator. I cannot help but notice you are not in uniform. Of course not. I don't have that kind of luck. Seems I allowed my excitement to run away with my wits. Been a few seasons since we've had a visitor pass through.
Only regulator we got is hooked up to the town transformer. Mr. Thompson ain't liable to be keen on dismantling it.
I beg your pardon. I am most emphatically not keen on any such thing. I can't let you have our power regulator. But I happen to know of another one. And I happen to know exactly how you may retrieve it without frying yourself in the process. There's a power regulator in the old botanical lab. It's mostly abandoned, so all that power is being squandered. Go down to the geothermal plant. Reroute power from the botanical district over to us. Once their power's shut down, you can have their regulator and be along on your way. I was not entirely sure how to tell you this. The botanical labs are not legally inhabited, but there are people who live there. people living in the botanical labs. They're deserters,
Mm.
former workers. I need them back at their posts. I need them to come home. My hope is that by cutting off their power, you will convince those deserters to come back to town. Before you go to the plant, I want you to stop by the botanical lab. Speak to their leader, Adelaide. Tell her the power's about to go, and that it's time her band of deserters came back to town. Adelaide's older than the other deserters. She's dignified, kindly. From what I understand, her camp looks to her for leadership.
Yo cortaría la conversación ahí, ¿no? Pero, a ver. Esto acá, obviamente no puedo decirle que los empleados se marcharon por algún motivo, ¿no? Sino que no volvés, eso no le importa. Y creo que le corto una... Le estoy cortando el suministro a toda una comunidad, también no le importa un sorongo.
I am asking you to help us survive. Edgewater needs more workers or we will collapse. We belong to one community, the Spacer's Choice family. If we dissolve into factions, then we will all perish separately. Adelaide will understand that.
My dad told me all about the plant. Taught me all he knew. I could come in useful. I mean, if that's all right with you, Mr. Thompson. Sir.
I hesitate to part ways with Miss Holcomb, but I cannot deny that she is talented and may prove useful to you. You will need an administrative passcode in order to enter the plant. I am trusting you with mine, and trusting Miss Holcomb to guide you if you'd like.
Great! I got my wrenches and diagnosticators and hairpins and engine tape, so I'm all set.
Well, I am glad to hear that. Best of luck to you, and thank you again for your help. It is a lot to ask of a stranger, I know.
Has conseguido una compañía, te lo acompañarás a un personaje y se terminarán en tu aventura y te ayudarán de distintas formas. Apoyo en combate, los talentos potencian las tuyas, aumenta la capacidad de carga y habilidades especiales de combates. Talento e inspiración. Aumentar la salud. Bien. Pero entra adentro, mujer. Adentro, vamos, adentro. Vamos. Mamita. Son estas las habilidades de ella, lo que tengo ahí abajo a la izquierda. Si mantengo esta salta.
On my way! I'm on my way. In a jiff. I'm going. Coming.
Ok.
Hey, ma'am, can we talk? Sorry. Can we talk?
Lo puse, no me va a hablar. ¿Estás seguro que quería rajarse acá?
Sorry. You just want to get out of here. And you likely don't want to tag along like me. It's just, Mr. Thompson has his own view on matters, on account of it's his job and what all, but that's not the only side of the tale.
No me digas.
Oh, he ain't a liar. He believes every word he says. It's just, he doesn't always get where other folk are talking from. To Mr. Thompson, a person's a gear. It does its job quiet-like. If it squeaks or stutters, it gets replaced. The deserters are decent folk. I knew some of them before they left. Life's hard here. Especially for them that don't fit in so well. We're one big Spacer's Choice family, but every family's got the one the rest whisper about. Mr. Thompson's aiming to take away their power. They'll have no lights to see, nor heat to cook. They'll be at the mercy of marauders, or worse. I think you should talk to the town's vicar about it. Max, his name is. Books are for rich folk. I wonder what he wants with something like that.
Creo que lo acabo de quemar de nuevo.
Thanks, ma'am. I just think when you gotta make a decision that'll hurt somebody, it's best to think on the right and wrong of it. That's what my dad used to say anyways.
Ok. No, sí, tampoco como que si a mí me apetecía mucho la idea de dejarle sin luz a toda la comunidad. Esto salida, no, vamos con el vicario. Igual ya llegó para trabajar conmigo también, así que a ver qué tanto.
I've always felt weird in here. It's too clean.
Anda, papá.
I'll meet you on the ship when you're ready to depart from Emerald Vale, Captain.
Y ni por otra cosa.
But what? I thought you would talk to him.
Lo mandé.
You wanted to speak to me, Ms. Holcomb? Every time I've tried to engage you in conversation, you look at the floor, answer in single words, and slink away. I can't imagine what would be so grave as to drive her to my mission. What has Mr. Thompson asked you to do? Depriving them of safety from the marauders and wildlife. I can see why that troubles you. Miss Holcomb has a soft heart. Always has, if you believe the talk.
Genial, puedes ir adelante.
Assuming your goal is to save as many as possible, then you should bring everyone together. Send the power to Edgewater and convince the deserters to return to the fold.
Salvar a toda la gente que pueda, entonces debería reunir a todo el mundo. Devuelve el suministro eléctrico a Frontemar y convencer a los desertores para que vuelvan. Realmente no pérdida de tiempo.
Not if things are left to stand as they are. I've never seen you before, and there's been no paperwork indicating a transfer. Half the time it's wrong, but a new worker without paperwork? Unheard of. Also, you lack the distinctive worker gaze. Usually either a deadening behind the eyes, or in some rare cases, a wild-eyed frenzy. Like a
Ni siquiera me puedo ver los ojos, que habla esto.
Pretty universal here. Except for Ms. Holcomb, who for some reason doesn't seem to have much to say to me. Isn't that right?
It's just... there's more to it all than numbers. Sorry.
Oh, nothing could be further from the truth. I'm simply bemoaning the level of spiritual awareness in this town.
Habla vos, flaco, si a la primera que encontraste uno que viene afuera y te consiguió un libro, te creas la puta.
Yes it is. But
Ay, Dios
it's my job,
mío.
and
¿Por
I
qué no
take
nos
it
mata?
very seriously. I must double my efforts to elevate my flock. These are good, hard-working people.
Pero si hace poco me dijiste no te importa un sorongo de tu trabajo. Ay, ya.
Where are we
Entonces,
headed? That's on account of how I never met her. She was in another division of the Spacer's Choice family. She worked in the Vale a few months, sorting the cannery computers. Her contract said any kids she had, expected or not, belonged to her office from the time of conception. So when I was born, I got sent here.
bicho.
It's sensible. Dad just fixed machines. She did some kind of crazy math, high-level stuff. Better to raise me on his time than hers. You mean about the mission being too clean? I know, but Vicker says the universe is a machine, that it runs by law. Real machines have gunked up oil, scratches, and worn bits. You can tell they've seen handling, been used by folk. The machine Vickers sees is one ain't never been run. It's not for people to live in. It's something on a museum shelf, under glass. I think there's something higher and greater than us. But I don't feel it when I'm in the mission.
Interesante. No. Tenemos que ir a... misión secundaria también. Ah, sí. Merodeadores. Bien. Hay que ir allá. Y acá, creo que no. Por la derecha. No, izquierda. A ver qué tanto está la parbatista. ¿Qué es? Habrá que la apunte y le dispara a uno. Y la C será su habilidad, me imagino.
Hey, Miss Parvati. Come for a visit?
Not today. Just helping this lady.
Don't go ambling out in those hills. That's marauder territory, friend. Ain't safe out here. You'd best head into town. Avail yourself of Edgewater's high walls. And low prices.
Uy, le dije como yo me llamaba esta. Creo que no.
Pleased to make your acquaintanceship. I'd shake your hand, but I've been hauling corpses. You don't want none of that on you. Name's Silas. Junior in humor for the town of Edgewater. We're all part of the Spacer's Choice family.
Humor. Ah, este. Hans, este es un cementerio visualmente.
Got a knack for being discreet-like? There's money to be made, long as you keep your nose clean. Edgewater is a company town, board-owned and operated. That includes the cemetery. None of us own our grave sites, we rent them from the company. Renting means money. Money means paperwork. Paperwork means signatures. Some of our families become a mite delinquent in paying their dues, you see? Four workers still haven't paid up. Phyllis, Conrad, Ludwig, and Martin
mira,
Abernathy. He's a special case. You may want to twist his arm a little. Conrad's got a barbershop in town. Phyllis works at the cannery most hours. Abernathy... I ain't seen him in a few days. His domicile is near the cannery. You'll find him in town. All except Ludwig, that is. He's over by the landing pad. He just is. Look, I don't want to get into it. Just make sure he pays up.
Y estoy viendo si alguno pisa el palito y empieza a hablar fuera de sus términos de tantas reglas y demás, está que casi pisa. Para que también se haga el combate a esto. Pero estos ya los maté. Ah. Sí, pero estos ya los maté ya. Hay gente todavía. No parece.
Here we go. Mess with us.
Y mira, están todos muertos. Me cayó el cuerpo. A la puta salió volando. Dedito. Che, ahora me pongo a pensar. Le estoy sacando los dedos, o sea, estos son trabajadores. No puedo hablar con ellos antes. Aunque estaban en un coso de merodeador, así que no sé qué tanto. Este lugar, no. Este también está lleno de... merodeadores. Pico de tiro, rayo, no sé qué cosa. Cuestión. Sí, merodeadores. Vamos por ahora. vamos por acá. Tremendo. One-shotea con el cuerpo melee. Una ejecución, supongo. Oh, que está llenísimo. Todo junto encima. Tiene todo granada, qué tristeza. ¿Tengo el explosivo? No, evidentemente. O sea, yo entiendo que soy el que está disparando primero antes de preguntar, pero... Este está con merodeadores, digamos. Tampoco puedo hablar con los merodeadores o que esto no me quieran cagar a tiro. Así que... Está por la derecha. No me digas. Está tan lleno de minas esto. Oh, me hice daño, qué pajero. Bien.
Oh, that's Thomas. He used to follow me around before he left the cannery.
Esta.
Keep your wits about you, friend.
Oh, hey there, friend. Wow, a new face. We're getting popular. I'm Thomas. Whoa, Miss Parvati. Hey, you're, what, how are you? Hi. Hello.
Are you, are things safe out here? How are you keeping?
Great, just great. I've been trying to keep stuff running, just like you. Only I'm not so... Wait, they didn't kick you out, did they?
Oh gosh, no. I'm just along with this lady here.
Are you from town? I mean, you don't exactly look like you're from town.
Me lo tomaré como un cumplido.
Never heard it phrased in such a way before. I guess we're all trying to get our ships off the ground, ain't we? Sorry, I just wasn't sure if you were from town or if you were one of us. Something's been chewing at me, you see. Fact is, I've been, well, lying. To everybody here. Camp thinks I'm a mechanical genius, but I couldn't fix a busted chair. I'll take all the help I can get. I set my mind to learning the craft of the engineer, you see. I want to make something of myself. You ever heard of the Young Spacer's Guide to Mechanical Engineering? Comes in a set of 3. If I had my hands on one of those data pads, I could teach myself the ins and outs.
Those are good. My dad kept a copy with him when he was working in the cannery.
I know the old community center kept a copy. Should find another one back in town. If you could find me even one of those pads, I'd be greatly obliged. No kidding! Really?
No kidding.
Well, which one? Look at that! Building a computing machine out of Spectrum potatoes, a primer. I'm just glad it survived all these years. I appreciate you going through all that trouble. In fact, I put aside something special, on the off chance that somebody'd search out those data pads for me.
Nice.
Sure, I'd be glad to take them off your hands. What's on your mind? Couple months. This camp's my home. People you see milling about, they're my family. At least I think of them that way. I owe them my life. Would have died in the wilderness if they hadn't chanced upon me, starving and delirious. We all left the cannery for one reason or another. Me? I was let go. Mostly on account of my incompetence. I mean, I was incompetent. I couldn't even survive on my own. Grace found me, Adelaide took me in, I've been on my feet ever since.
You weren't incompetent. You just didn't fit the cannery. Not like here. This place had a U-shaped hole, and now it doesn't.
You could stay, you know. Here. I'd be happy to... I mean, we could really use... this isn't coming out right. If you want, Adelaide would make a place for you.
Luis. No. Montar. Oh. Esto acá. Desmontamos. 31. Esto podríamos arreglar. Trastear. Vamos a mejorarlo. Que trastee el objeto vacío suelto. Bien, pero no. No lo puedo hacer, no. Pero no tengo modificadores, ¿no? Adicionar. No. Este sí. Mira que para el revólver este. Exactamente.
Keep your wits about you, friend.
If you're hungry, there's meat turning on the spit outside. If you're bearing illness, find a place to lay your head down and I'll fetch you a poultice. Whatever your troubles with Edgewater, leave them at the gates and be welcomed here. Any questions, dear? I have been called that, among other things.
Super jardinera.
Some grandmother, the strange old lady who keeps flowers. But yes, Adelaide will do just fine.
Excuse me, Miss McDevitt? Sorry, it's just... You got such pretty trees in here.
Why, thank you. You're Robert's girl, aren't you? I remember when you were but a sprout. Thomas speaks of you often. Are you staying long? You should try some of my tobaccorn tea. I brew it in an old spittoon, but it's been cleaned.
Qué grande.
A home for anyone who's ever turned their backs on Edgewater. A home for those of us with nowhere left to go and nothing to lose. So, like the spores of the puffball, cast on the wind and alighting on fresh soil, we put down new roots. It is an unpleasant story, dear. But the short of it is that sometimes one wakes up and realizes the place that was once her home for much of her life has changed. The home in which we spent our lives has left us behind, and so we must move on. And that is as much as I will say on the subject. Reed Thompson, you here on behalf of that cold-eyed reptile? Let's hear it. What's Reed's idea of peace, then?
Ni hablar, no.
Like everything else that comes out of Edgewater, that peace offering is
Olvídate.
bland. I and my own are living just fine out here by ourselves. He would do such a thing. The question is, why would you agree to his plans? Cannery's got a regulator. You want ship parts, you ought to rip them out of the cannery's guts and leave us be. If you're going down to the plant, you should divert power away from Edgewater and toward our end of the grid. Think about it. You'd be liberating an entire town from a lifetime of service to that odious cannery. Seems the sort of thing a hero would do.
Está bueno decirle de tu punto de vista tal vez y como que en parte decir, bueno, pero esa gente cree que lo que viven está bien, ¿no? Que no. Siento que no, pero puede ser.
A hero to the people who matter. To us. To the ones who come around. To the ones you save. Reed will never understand. He has been too long inebriated on the wine of corporate culture. All he sees is productivity, output, profits. Life in Edgewater grinds to a halt. The cannery shuts down, workers desert in droves, and our own little camp grows and thrives. I trust you will listen to your conscience.
¿Y vos qué pensás?
Something you need? He's just interested in fixing stuff. He always used to follow me around, asking me to explain what I was doing. Like a puppy, kinda. I'm just glad he's alive. That he's okay. I mean, when Mr. Thompson said he was fired, we all expected the worst. If he wants to learn about engineering, we should help him get those data pads he wants. I'd like to do that for him. Oh gosh, it's so pretty.
Ah, está muy lindo, ¿no? A ver, vos.
You hungry? We got canid ribs, canid flank, canid snout too. Something I can help you with?
Goodness.
Fresh off the limb, and that includes canid meat.
Gorro ligero. Ropa. Opa. ¿Qué voy a vender? Voy a vender esto, ¿no? Ok, 155. A ver, hay todo un tema, ¿no? Ay, ay, ay. Con las minas. A ver. Tengo un tema con esto. Uy. Allí. Sí. Porque si les saco la electricidad a los del pueblo, no sé si el pueblito este de desertores tiene la capacidad de... Tiene la capacidad de poder soportar a toda la gente que está en Frontemar. Está muy lindo su ciudad paradisíaca, ¿no? Sería una utopía eso. Más que también cortarle la electricidad a estos tampoco está bueno, porque viven su vida sin molestar a nadie, básicamente, y supongo que viven mejor que allá que están con la ganga espacial. Capaz les corto la electricidad de estos acá, que si viene una super ciudad, super asentamiento, que otra cosa es que tiene muros, lo que acá no tiene. Bueno, le voy a cortar la electricidad esta nomás, solo porque tiene las gangas espaciales que no me gusta. Ah, qué lindo.
Not a peep from me. don't know anybody who ever came out this far.
Non plus animer acá, boludona.
I'm going. Yep, be right over. No problem. I'll head over. Coming back.
Era bom. Não, não. My goodness.
Wow, you got that?
Look at that. Didn't know. Casi me como las minas. Ay, ay. Bueno, todos los dedos. Ahora. ¿Dónde está? Hay una en la puerta. ¿O se dejó ropa, no? Sí, fue eso.
No problem. I'll head over. Heading back.
Intento entregar la... Esto. La verdad prefiero sacarle toda la electricidad a estos locos acá. Que viven...
Almost lost a finger in the cannery today.
Que viven ahí...
I've never actually been in
Y
here.
es oprimido por
Seems
esta
scary.
canga que son
Something
una
to
cagada.
report? We pay by the finger. What do you have for me? Something to report? We pay by the finger. What do you have for me? Gil Antrim. Real name, Guillaume. Duly processed by a freelancer on behalf of Spacer's Choice. I remember him. I was just a kid last I saw him. Shame. I'll just need your signature here, 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 and here. Got any more fingers for me? Mabel Burgess. Age 37. Right or left-handed? Let's just say no longer applicable. I remember Doc Burgess. Conducted my physical every fiscal quarter. Guess she couldn't keep her hands off her patient's medicine. Still one outstanding bounty. If you've got a finger, I've got the paperwork. Here we are. Birdie Cotton. Cause of death. Let's just say overwhelming physical trauma. Bert was the local preacher before Max took over. Always was quick to remind us that we all get what we deserve in the end. Well, that's all three. I must remember to requisition some more fingerprint ink. Here's all the compensation you've earned, plus a bonus. You've done such a bang-up job hunting down our former workers that I thought it only proper to deputize you. Congratulations.
El 6. Voy a ver esto, ¿no? Un poquito de esto. Es 220. 22 de hecho. Le voy a poner 5. Precios de vendedor. Solo inicio. Me gusta.
Lost a finger in the cannery today.
Nothing I can do.
Falta uno igual. Botánico. más.
Any luck finding one of those manuals? No kidding! Really? Well, which one? Ain't that just ironical? If I'd worked a little longer back at the cannery, I might have found this myself. 2 whole data pads? Be still my beating heart. Oh, almost forgot your payment. Sure, I'd be glad to take them off your hands. What's on your mind?
La otra no tengo ni idea dónde está. Vamos a cobrar plata y después le dejamos sin electricidad a estos cabezones.
Oh, I cut my...
What can I do for you? Oh? Am I in the company of a fellow doctor? You may think that, but the tidiness of my fellow worker is my responsibility, alive or otherwise. Whether you're showing up to work or going to that great cannery in the sky, it's my job to make you look like a million bits. Ah, gravesite fees. Silas and I had talked about this at length. I thought I'd made it clear my pecuniary situation precludes the necessary restitutions. As broke as pie crust, friend. Bidless, indigent, destitute. I simply cannot afford it. I am a blemish on the prosperity of our fair settlement. When I expire, I expect Silas to toss my body into a ditch. Thank you, no. I despise the cereals. Tell Silas I can't afford to pay. And that I fully expect to have my medical rights revoked for this dereliction. With my apologies. Some time ago, I fell ill with the plague. By the grace of the law, and through my own hard work, I'd proven worthy of treatment. Frankly, I don't imagine I'll earn that right a second time. The barber work hasn't been profitable, you see. I've had to keep this old place running with my own savings. Not a bad idea. But I'd need some kind of collateral. My pair of lucky clippers! No, that won't do. Your idea intrigues me, but I'm afraid I don't have anything to give Silas. I'm open to suggestions. You know about Eugene? How? Then, you know Phyllis suggested selling off Eugene's gold teeth. I didn't approve of the idea then, and I don't approve of it now. Eugene's golden teeth were a family heirloom, representing 3 generations of poor dental hygiene. He took them to his grave. That's unthinkable. Eugene's body and all rare earth minerals contained therein are solely the property of Spacer's choice. I can't ask Silas to dig up a man's body and pry a few teeth loose from his jaw just to pay my bills. Can I?
Are you asking rhetorically? Because if you're being serious... Ugh, gross.
Desperate measures, Miss Holcomb. Desperate measures.
Exactamente.
I'm going to have to ask Silas to dig up those teeth. It's the only way I'm paying my gravesite fees. I'm sure that I have no other choice. Here you are. Gravesite papers affixed with my signature and an IOU.
Como se no te lo voy a mandar a la mierda esto acá. Tienes que pagar para tu tumba. Y si no, te quedas sin... Uy, no, el hijo este.
Please, wander around. Touch things. I'm awfully contagious. Silas knows, doesn't he? That's why he sent you. That's why he wants me to pay up. He knows. Here, take my fees. I'm never getting that medicine, so I may as well buy myself a grave. Something nice and wide, with plenty of room to spin around inside.
It is Ranger.
You the new worker? Whatever. Make it quick, Tenderfoot. I'm busy.
Yola.
Foreman Granger. Mind those words don't come out of your mouth unless preceded by yes or right away or thank you. Shit. Silas still on about that. Here, take the fees. I'd appreciate it if you didn't tell Reed I was late on my payment. Because they're not my fees and not my gravesite. Guy I worked with shot himself. I paid the bill. I could do without the sarcasm. Wasn't acting out of the goodness of my heart. Law requires delinquent gravesite fees to be paid by the deceased party's closest living relative, which meant me. Shame, though. Eugene was a good worker. Woke up one morning and put a round through his upper story. Can't imagine why. The kid was doing all right at his desk. We all thought he was an upstanding receptionist. Just between the two of us, I'm pretty shocked his weapon didn't misfire. Spacer's Choice handguns aren't the most reliable. Eugene wasn't family. Yeah, I was the closest living person relative to his body at time of death. I'm the one who found him, you see, so I pay the fine. Suicide's a crime. The legal term is irreparable damage to company property. What Eugene did to himself was vandalism. I'm plenty serious. In fact, I'm a little upset Eugene didn't think things through. In other words, Edgewater would have been penalized pretty hard. Whatever Eugene was worth as an asset, we would have had to pay out of pocket to Spacer's Choice. Well, excuse you. I'll have you know, Eugene was an asset to us all. May his atoms be commended to the law. All I know is Silas asked me for Eugene's gravesite fees, which means he was approved for burial, which means his papers went through, which means the town's in the clear. I'm just glad to put this whole ugly affair behind me. Eugene can rest his bones in peace, and the rest of us can get on with our own lives.
Increíble. A ver qué tanto van a trabajar sin luz, hijo de puta. Increíble, un delito. Creo que el otro está del otro lado. Por abajo creo, ¿no? Creo que sí.
Been eating nothing but salt tuna for a year.
Creo, ¿no? No. Otro lado.
Did you hear? Ray has locked them some contract.
Espero que este no se haya suicidado. No,
When I was little, we'd get freighters in every Sunday noon. Now they only come but once a month. I love the wind here.
Thank the law. I've been requisitioning backup for months. Guess the boss finally came to his senses. You ever swung a truncheon? Let me see your rifling stance. I want to make sure you're up to snuff. I told Silas I'd pay my dues if he agreed to join the resistance. Guess this means he's finally heard the calling.
Está loquito este.
The war. The coming apocalypse. Man versus machine. I'm talking about mechanical soldier. Cold, heartless automatons made of iron and lies. That's right. That's what I've been saying. We gotta square our shoulders and stand ever vigilant. Auto-mechanicals. Creatures forged in the fires of malevolence. I seen them over by the old power plant. Clattering about, firing at the birds, orchestrating their uprising. When the swarms of mechanicals come clanging on over that hill, where will you be? Cowering beneath your cot? Or standing, shoulder to shoulder with the resistance? I've been gathering up a war chest over the years. Saltuna cans, mostly, some Spacer's Chaw, few bit cards. I'll reward you for your aid. Enlistment fees? Yeah, I suppose. Wouldn't want to give the Resistance a bad name. They have sent a scout, prowling around the junkyard just behind our beloved town. This scout must not be permitted to return to its base of operations. Cross it off, then report back.
Tremendo. Bueno, vamos con los pavos. Vamos con los pavos, hacemos la misión de los robots y los dejo todos sin electricidad y que se pudran. Me pudiera matar todo esto acá nomás.
Lovely to see you about, Miss Parvati.
Things going all right, Silas?
Been keeping him careful and true, miss. Best to ask her yourself.
My dad's buried here. Silas watches over him when I can't leave the house. Oh. Well, thanks.
Something I can do for you? You run into any trouble? Reliable work from a freelancer. That's gonna take some getting used to. And I'll buy you a drink sometime. Suppose you've earned it. One good turn deserves another.
Muere la verdad, tío. A lo mandan muere. Al viejo que tiene peste. Ok. Bien, ahora que tengo. Muere el robot. ¿Dónde? Acá nomás. Tremendo. No. Precis, jag estoy en un cementerio de frente más. Ah.
Aw, he bet I could fix him up smart.
Searching for repair bay. Error. Navigation systems failed. Unable to comply.
I could probably fix that. I mean, if you wanted me to. Yep, I see the problem. His nav mod got dislodged. Must have taken a tumble. Just gotta give it a good push and wait for the click. There we go. Jeremy's good as new. Well, new by Spacer's Choice standards anyhow. His name's Jeremy, by the by.
Navigation systems operational. Optimal path toward repair bay detected. Initiating self-diagnostics.
I don't reckon Jeremy understands the concept of trade.
Spacer's Choice reminds all colonists that serving the Spacer's Choice family is the highest possible reward. I have been programmed to deliver this pre-approved message.
Be more careful out there, Jeremy.
Jeremy.
Where are we headed?
Nos vemos, Jeremy. Oh, munición. Ah. Oh, esto no es robar. Permiso, permiso, permiso. No, estoy re pesado. Ahora igual puedo hacer viaje rápido. Cantina. No, no. Necesito al vendedor. ¿Dónde estaba?
Been eating nothing but salt tuna for a year.
Just the way it goes, I suppose.
Ah. Oh, esta madre, ¿dónde era? Ah. Voy a recorrer este. Ya creo, ¿no? Sí, acá. La Store. General Store.
I'm not allowed in here. Not since the vending machine incident.
Holcomb, got my eye on you, girl. Miss Holcomb ain't allowed in this establishment. Not since that little incident.
Absolutely. I'll keep my hands in my pockets. I won't touch anything while we're in here, Mr. Moreau. I promise.
Music to my ears.
Okay. Un montón de estas. O sea, vende todo lo que es alcohol nomás. Comida mejora. Ok. Y lleno de comida. Ok. Frente de toxinas líquidas. Inmunidad. Duración de efecto de estado perjudicial a un 50%. Menos por ser reactivación de vida conveniente. Okay. Este fideo pensé que era hierro. Opa, ¿y esto? Sad. No, vendido nomás. Bien. Esto. Vende esto. Esto acá no sé si venderlo o quedármelo. Pues no quiero usar arma a 2 manos. Está buena, pero no sé. Esta acá no sé si venderlo o quedármelo. Traje de invernación. Voy a venderlo. ¿Qué tanto? También. Esta es la interacción que tiene.
Huh? You mean why I'm not allowed in the store anymore? There was a kind of a thing with a vending machine when I was 12. Sure, but folks got long memories around here. I've always been good with my hands, right? So I saw a lock on the machine and thought, oh, this must be how they refill it. But I had to know. So I did my thing. And next thing I know, there's a couple hundred bottles of 0G rolling out the front door and into the road.
Tremendo.
It's not funny. Right about then, a bunch of loaders came rolling in the gate, fresh off the Saltuna ships. And Mr. Thompson was up on the porch making a speech about how everyone would have to volunteer a 3rd shift to get it all canned. Anyhow, you ever seen an auto loader run over a bottle of 0G? Exploded all over Mr. Thompson. One bottle after another as the loaders went by. I was just shy of working age, so Dad had to pay all the damages. Moreau's still angry at me. I can laugh about it now, but I just about puked up my guts in terror in the moment. That's the one time I ever made Mr. Thompson look a fool.
Tremendo. Bien. Ah, sí, tengo que entrar a la misión de robot.
Another day at the cannery.
¿Era por acá? No. Pero sería. No. Por la izquierda.
Bring us honor, soldier. You beat that scout to scrap with its own legs? Pulled its optic cables out its head case? Actually, don't tell me. Rather use my imagination. You're a passing fair soldier, I will confess. But you are one, and the enemy is legion. What you need is an equalizer, a weapon to strike fear in their cold, mechanical hearts. Cantina, lavatory, behind one of the toilets. That's where I've kept it hidden all these years.
Tremendo.
On the double, soldier. Don't want the bartender poking around in there with a mop.
Ok, arma gratis supongo. ¿Por qué será esa arma tan poderosa?
You think corporate's ever gonna get?
You're not a big drinker, are you? Okay, gone quiet.
Esto droga. Trae un paquetito detrás del inodoro.
Bring us honor, soldier. Feast your eyes, soldier. This here's a genuine Spacer's Choice injury customizing unit, designed to deliver a lethal blast of electrical discharge. I call it the Hand of the Law. You ever want to see a mechanical flailing around like a grounded fish? You stick a couple thousand volts in its guts. With compliments from old Ludwig. Time's come for you to journey down into the black heart of the enemy's camp. I'm talking about the old geothermal plant.
Mira.
Unfortunately, the old plant lies outside my board-given jurisdiction. You'll need to get a passcode from the boss, Reed Thompson. I've been after a passcode for years. Boss said no on account of my gross incompetence with all matters related to security. I need you to get us the brain of a mechanical. Well, not exactly a brain. Anatomically speaking, what we're looking for is a logic module. There's the rub. If a mechanical breaks down, the logic module fries. So you can't rip one out of its corpse. You're going to have to find an intact model somehow.
I don't reckon so. I work with gears and pistons and such. Stuff you can put hands to. Computers and mechanical brains are outside my ken.
You know, she names the mechanicals she fixes. Calls them Bess and Clancy and so on. Keep a careful eye on her. Could be a sympathizer. Don't tell anyone, all right? I've got a contact. A real expert in the inner workings of the automaton. We are gonna rip those mechanical secrets right out of their circuits. Well, excuse me. What I meant was I'm going to get a contact. Didn't know I had to be all prissy about my grammar around you. If you die horribly, I will pour out a can of 0G to your memory.
Wow, qué amable.
Go on.
Como que la geotérmica, ¿no? si lo dejo los dos, sin electricidad que se caen, no me importa. Me robo los dos módulos.
I always wanted to poke around in here.
Sweeping the area. Processing it.
Incoming!
Voy a entrar acá, no vi.
Security. Unauthorized persons.
That's the last of them!
Literalmente se les revelaron los robots acá. ¿Qué tenemos acá? Ah, tremendo. Tremendo, está llenísimo acá de ver esto. No. Cosas. Central geotérmica.
The control room should be off to the right. Hope we're doing the right thing.
Ok, no se lo puede, pensé que se lo podía desactivar y sacarle el módulo lógico, no soy chucha. No. Se salvó. No te crees que se salvó ese bicho.
I wish I could do that.
Registro personal. Tanaka, jefe de seguridad. Otra vez Chester Higgins, qué cabezota. Estas teaturas de presa. No la vida es divertísima. Un poco duro de molerlo. Estaba trabajando en un módulo los que se lo confisqué y estará encerrado en mi armario hasta nueva orden. Tremendo. que aguanta. Qué mierda. Que aguanta.
System up. Invest.
Not real. You're not real.
What?
Get away!
Virginia estaba encerrado.
Mind the steam. You're liable to get scalded.
You're not real. You're not real. Get away! No, just leave me alone.
You?
You're not real. You're not real. Get away from me, Phantom. Shoot, scram. Most people? But I'm the only one left. No. Remember your first rule, Higgins. No arguing with the Phantoms. See, Higgins? This is why you must always boil your sprats before ingesting. Of course. Do excuse me. I experience brief flashes of mania during which I am visited by the phantoms of my imagination. Chester D. Higgins. The D stands for definitely not insane. I use it as a reminder.
No, Chester D. Higgins. Del One Piece.
Hard to say. By my reckoning, Higgins has been here somewhere between 2 weeks and forever. My recollection's a touch fuzzy these days. Oh, Higgins has been many things over the years. Sprat Wrangler, Saltuna Critic, Aetherwave Personality, Chairman of the Board, Galactic Defender, Sisty Pig Tycoon.
Presidente de la Junta.
I've come a long way for someone who started off as a simple engineer right here in this plant.
Un ingeniero.
I specialized in automechanicals, drones, sentries, repaired them, maintained, upgraded, did it all from my old workroom just over in the next section. Look, I don't want to fall into any trouble with the mechanicals. If they wise up to our plans, they will come for us. With prodding irons. You know, you remind me of myself back when I was an intergalactic adventurer.
Wow, era todo
I discovered a flaw. Their hostility levels were hardwired to maximum. There's no changing that, but you could rewrite their targeting protocol so they attack each other instead. Yes, that's exactly it. I see you're also versed in the noble art of mechanical engineering. There's a behavior control terminal in the other room. It should have options to change how the mechanicals act, including whom they shoot at. Oh, that reminds me. You'll need my passcode to access the behavior control terminal. Here, let me just write it down for you. Funny thing, I was working on a logic module just before the mayhem started. Security chief found me and confiscated the logic module. The tail. Definitely start with the tail. If you're feeling adventurous, the ears are a particular delicacy.
Okay, you know what?
Forgot what you were gonna say? Me too.
Bien. Papá. Tremendo. Ok, robot. Ah, tengo que ir. Vení para acá, flaca. A nivel 5. Nivel 6. Bueno, nivel 2. Nivel 3. 4, 5. Esto sería. Sí. ¿Dónde está? 1, 4, 5. Ok, nivel 2.
Resetting actions.
Listo. Se llama Directo. Lo lógico. Tarjeta de acceso del jefe de seguridad de la central geotérmica. ¿Y dónde está esa tarjeta? ¿Lo dice acá? No. Los mogones se han vuelto locos, me han encerrado aquí. Estoy tratando de reunir el valor suficiente para correr como un rayo hasta la sala de control. Voy a conseguir desactivarlo todo. Sala de control. 11. Ouch. Ah, todo estaba recién. Increíble. Ahí trae. Pobre pibe. Permiso. Gracias. Al módulo lógico. Y con Ludwig. ¿Ves? El... La universidad, ¿no? Sí. Viene. Todo rápido. Las doblamos así. %, de eficiencia. Hay que conserva ese atún de Frontenar, laboratorio botánico. Y a los 3 interruptores eléctricos.
3 switches. That'll be easy enough.
Suponemos que no será difícil.
Just 2 more. What'll happen to Miss McDevitt's folk if we send power to the Vale?
Y se quedan sin luz, mamita.
Incoming!
Listo.
Where to go? If we send the power to Miss McDevitt, what happens to the Vale? Where are we headed? In the bar? When I asked if you were a drinker? Sorry. No, it's none of my business. It's not like I think it a failing, mind. It's just I live right across the road. Most nights I watch folks out my window.
Men.
When they come in here, they might be happy or sad. Mostly they're tired. When they leave, they're mad at themselves. Or they stumble into the alley and I listen to their hearts breaking. Maybe so, but we don't think on it that way.
Unexpected.
Here they come!
Yo no tenía cabeza. Y estoy pesado. ¿No le puedo dar parte del equipo a ella? ¿No? Un poquito. Venda. Esto, nueva armadura ligera. ¿Y que eso es bueno? Hace mejor daño cuerpo a cuerpo. Tremendo. ¿Cuánto hace tu arma? 153. Arregla esto. Muy bien, pues bueno, consumirla acá. Eso. Bueno, mira, pues. Tremendo.
That's the last. I'm not sure what the ride is. All I know is the decision's final.
Tranqui, flaca, que la decisión recae en mí. Y ya sé qué voy a hacer, así que... Es muy pesado, que puedo tirar. ¿No puedo tirar cosas? No, sí. Ah, la puedo desmontar yo. Ahora sí.
Once we do this, there's no going back. Excuse me, ma'am. Look, I know you want your power regulator and all, but I just gotta ask you. Do you understand what you're about to do? I don't think you should cut off Edgewater's power. I think it would be cruel. I'm sorry. That just sort of came out all at once. Edgewater's hurting. We've been losing workers year after year, and corporate hardly ever sends replacements. There's barely enough Saltuna to fill our bellies anymore. But the town's got some good people in it. Decent, hard-working folk just living their lives the only way they know how. They don't deserve to be punished. Miss McDevitt's built something beautiful. Somehow, she's talked the ground into giving life again. It's plain to see she's made the Vale a better place. Fed the hungry, tended the sick. Gave a home to those that had none. But Miss McDevitt delights in Edgewater's suffering. She wants to hurt the town. Do you really want to be party to that kind of hatred? Well, that sure sounds like Mr. Thompson. If he was standing here, I imagine he'd remind us of how we're all one big, happy Spacer's Choice family. In Mr. Thompson's eyes, those deserters are still part of the Spacer's Choice family. The family must work together in order to survive. I hate to say it, but I think Mr. Thompson's got a point. Unless those deserters come back, Edgewater's as good as dead. Cutting off their power might be the only way. Sorry, I didn't mean to babble on like that. I felt like I had to say something.
No te estaba prestando atención.
Really? I mean, wow. Thanks. No one's ever told me those words in that order.
Vamos a ver archivo no por la duda. Me voy a cagar en ella.
said the deserters are gonna be alright when they got power, but what about the town? All those people. Great work.
Opa. Tremendo. Ah, no me gusta mucho la burocracia de ese lugar de ganga y todo, por eso lo mando a la bosta. Pecanos, enfermos, todo, no me importa nada la ganga, y por qué me tiene que importar a mí, entonces. Que se la busque. Que se maneje. Ay, no me acerca. Pues no tienen luz ahora y ahora.
Hello? Are you still there?
Voy a entrar a la misión de Ludwig.
Town's been dark a while now. Could be a mechanical trying to sabotage us.
Puede ser.
Bang up work, soldier. You're a credit to your uniform. Oh, that reminds me. Gotta look into getting us a uniform. So this is it then. The key to humanity's victory over the mechanical hordes. I would reward you with the gratitude of the Resistance, but I'm guessing you want something tactile. So here's a couple of bits for your trouble, and a little something to remember me by.
Palo eléctrico de 8 bits.
Are we getting paid or not?
Any loss of productivity will be deducted from your pay.
You want to know what gets my bile churning?
Yeah.
Edgewater has suffered a cavalcade of disasters. Plague, marauders, desertion. Then you wandered in town. And I was so damn sure our luck was starting to turn. I never knew how right I was. Just answer one question for me. Why'd you do it? Is that right? I'm dying to hear this. Please, educate me. Liberating? Edgewater is my home. The only home I've ever had. I put down roots here, gave decades of my life to this place. I never asked to be liberated. Whatever you were hoping to find down here, I advise you to turn around and leave. I have got guards posted with orders to fire on you. Edgewater's dead. Our cannery's dead. Adelaide's deserters are never coming back. Spacer's Choice will shut us down before long. Some of us will die of illness by then. Some will move on. Some will starve. And as for me, I will tender my resignation, whereupon I shall be processed and then duly imprisoned for gross incompetence.
¿Por qué no te capas, flaco?
Something's not right.
Huh? Who was that?
Get ready!
What was that?
Eso, me llevo esto. Nos vemos.
On my way!
I'm gonna get in their face!
Something you need?
Do you hear that? That low, pleasant hum of electricity? It whispers across the Vale like the winds of change. You've done well. I would have paid my last 5 bits to see the look on Reed's face when the last lamp in town burnt out and the cannery fell to silence. My son worked in that cannery. When the plague started coming, he was one of the first to fall sick. We had a store of medicine locked away, but Reed refused to treat him. Said my boy didn't deserve treatment. Said the medicine would have been wasted on him. So I buried my boy in the cemetery, gathered my belongings, and left. That's as much of the story as you need to hear. Time's come to look toward the future. We'll grow, I expect. A lot of workers out there with nowhere else to go. Not as many as you'd think. We're not about to let the whole town join our flock.
¿Cómo que no?
Just the ones willing to renounce their corporate loyalties and live the way nature intended. I am curious. Why did you help us? You don't know who we are. You don't owe us a thing. The plant's crawling with mechanicals, so it stands to reason you risked your life. You're not quite like anyone else I've met. You haven't had your consciousness programmed by the board. You're welcome among us if you're ever so inclined.
grabaciones eso. Interés. Componente de habilidad 1, B, componente de habilidad 2. Es que tenemos ventajas. Índice de armadura base no es tan mal. Ah.
Is this your ship? Oh my stars, she is just so handsome. Does she have a name yet? What's her drive model? Oh, gosh. Listen to me babbling. When I was in Edgewater, I dreamed of flying on a real ship, working on a real engine, belonging to a proper crew. Edgewater won't last another season without power, but that don't change the fact that I'm indentured to Spacer's Choice. Company expects me back at my post. I have imagined it, but until you came along, I never thought I had a choice. I want to ask you something, and you can say no. But can I come with you? I could tend to your engine. I know my G-valves from my catalyzers, and I can keep your ship singing. And if you ever need a pair of eyes watching your back, I can do that too. What do you think? Yes! I mean, thanks. You won't regret this, ma'am. Captain. I can call you Captain now. Ha! I got a captain.
Well, I certainly am looking forward to flying on a ship named the Unreliable. I'll just head upstairs and claim a room. As always, I am at your disposal. Anything you'd like to discuss? Nothing too out of the ordinary. Just your run-of-the-mill vicar with a violently enthusiastic disposition. That's what my parents called it. I grew up in a pit of a town, much like Edgewater. I was destined to be a laborer like my parents, but I was affected early with a need to solve the equation. My passion didn't sit well with them. My parents, ironically. They internalized the precepts of scientism like no one I've ever known. They had a pure faith, a faith that brought joy to them regardless of the situation. I envied that. I wanted that peace. I thought if I became a vicar, I could find it. Or at the very least, find out why I lacked it.
Ah, intenta buscando la felicidad.
The simple version is this. The force which we call the Grand Architect created the universal equation that underlies and defines everything in the universe. Everything flows from the equation, or in layman's terms, the grand plan. Is the Grand Architect a consciousness? A natural force? Did it create the equation on purpose? The answers to these questions don't really matter. The equation, the plan, is all that matters. Contentment is found by accepting one's role in the plan. Scientism, as its name implies, believes that nature abhors equality. The strong survive, and the weak perish for the betterment of the whole. And reason, not emotion, is the seat of all morality. Wisdom means accepting the vicissitudes of life with grace and dignity. I prefer to think of it as looking at reality for what it truly is, not how we'd like it to be.
Prefiero pensar en ello como mirar la realidad por lo que verdaderamente es. Sí, en parte puede ser.
Yes? I have run headlong into too many walls in my pursuit of the truth. This book is my last hope, and you were my only hope of getting it translated. I honestly don't know what I'd do. This quest has consumed me for the better part of my life. I fear there's nothing else left to me. What about you? What's your story? Yes, very funny. Just like the masked marketeer, right?
¿De quién?
Everyone knows that Aetherwave serial. Where have you been?
¿Le digo que era una colona? No.
You were the one who started this conversation. Bakonu, the author, had some interesting theories about man's perception of reality that I thought could be applied to our attempts to decipher the plan. Unfortunately, he was also one of the founders of the Philosophist school of thought, so the book is banned in this colony. I've been thinking on that. There's a former infamous Philosophist scholar who fled Terra 2 some years ago. He's an expert on Bakonu. He's also who told me of the journal's presence in Emerald Vale. If anyone in this colony could translate that book, it would be him. That's a good question. We should start on the Groundbreaker. It's where I'd go if I wanted to get off Terra 2. Great place to pick up a ride to Hephaestus, Scylla, even Monarch. All I need is access to a data cartridge from the security terminal. Their easily hackable system keeps a registry of all crew manifests for both arrivals and departures. Before I transferred to Edgewater, I had a wealth of time to develop certain secular skills during my years serving a particular penitentiary flock. I meditated, led sermons, provided guidance to the inmates as needed, of course. I also played prison yard tossball and taught myself a bit about computronic security systems. Thank you, Captain.
Captain, I have detected that the town of Edgewater is now without power. I appreciate you doing your part to hasten their demise.
De nada.
What can I do for you, Captain? Do you know how to install a power regulator?
No.
Outstanding, Captain. Your aptitude for engineering will prove invaluable in the event of another catastrophic engine failure. Our engine room is located behind you. Across the cargo bay, up the ladders.
Sorry, can't do that.
¿Cómo no?
Where are we headed?
Muévanse dentro de la nave, después se tienen que ver ahí quietitos. A ver, quería reparar esta arma. Mis armas cómo están, bien, bien, bien. Opa, esta no está tan bien. Bien, ¿qué puedo desmontar? Montar esto. El 31, 70. No. 108 a 2 manos. Nivel 5, nivel 9. También tiene desangramiento. Bien. Los dos son los mismos. De trastear el arma. La chaboncita. Modificaciones puedo hacer. O si puedo. Cambia el daño eléctrico. Cambia el tipo de daño del arma a eléctrico. A ver, no puedo hacer, ¿no? Eléctrico. Bueno. ¿No más? No. Las de ella tampoco. Esto sí. Daño de plasma. Las eléctrico. Lo puedo hacer a plasma. ¿Qué mejor? ¿Plasma o eléctrico? Ya la doy, igual es un para armas de dos manos, así que... Bien.
What can I do for you, Captain? All systems are operating within acceptable parameters. I am prepared to bring the Unreliable into low-altitude orbit. This should prove an adequate test of our flight capabilities.
Vámonos a la host. Se cae pedazo la nave. A mamarla frente mar. Tenemos 3 espectadores. Vámonos. Pibe.
We have received a communication request from Dr. Phineas Wells.
Ok, antes de hablar, ¿no? A los 3 espectadores que están viendo. Yo no sé si serán bots, ojalá que no. Acá hacemos vivos de muchos juegos. Estoy jugando Elden Ring con amigos. Ahora estamos con The Outer World. Si no, Abiotic Factor. Gran juego, muy bueno. Y si no... No me acuerdo qué más, la verdad. Entre otros.
Aha, there you are. Hale and hearty, and captain of your own ship. I see you're putting the Unreliable to good use. Shame about her former captain. Horrible way to die. How are you feeling, by the way? I lost track of you in that cave back there. Experiencing any, unnatural drippage? Perfectly normal side effect of thawing, I assure you. Oh, that, yes, that's probably permanent. I wouldn't worry about it, though. I'm sure you're fine. What you saw in Emerald Vale is happening all across the colony. Food shortages, lack of supplies, and basic necessities. We're dying. The chairman, the minister, and all their lackeys on the board are to blame. The Hope has some of the brightest minds Earth ever sent us. If we can revive the Hope's colonists, they can help us undo the board's mistakes. They can help us set things right. You need to get to Stellar Bay on Monarch. I have contacts there. They'll help me, help us, find the chemicals to revive your fellow colonists. Gladys Culkelly, lovely woman, runs a cozy little black marketing outfit on the Groundbreaker. She can get you a nav key to land on Stellar Bay.
Dije una banda especializada en mercado en la pionera.
Strictly speaking, Monarch is a moon, terraformed badly,
Mira vos.
and almost completely lawless. You'll love it. Captains don't fly their own ships, you see. Your navigation terminal handles the, navigation. Think of a nav key as a set of flight instructions.
Ah, okay.
The board's been confiscating nav keys for Stellar Bay, so we must rely on unconventional means of acquisition. Hence, Miss Gladys Kilkelly.
Okay, okay.
Without a skip drive, good luck. You'll be dead before you make it to the nearest star. Look, I admire your optimism, but the sad truth is you're stuck here. You, me, and the rest of this colony. We're all skating precariously around the edge of oblivion together. None of us are leaving Halcyon alive, so we may as well make it a better place. And we can start by reviving the hope.
Hope. Bueno.
Excellent. I'll send her a wireless. Let her know you're coming. By the way, I gave Captain Hawthorne a disguise apparatus of my own design, cutting-edge technology, years ahead of its time. I call it the holographic shroud. I'm sure it will prove remarkably useful to you. You'll find it in the captain's quarters.
El sudario holográfico.
Marvelous device. I'm quite proud of myself. The shroud changes the user's appearance to mimic that of another. It has limits, first-generation technology, you see, but promising. Exciting to see it in use at last. Very simply, the holographic shroud uses information contained on standard identity cartridges to generate a holographic projection around you. Only stands up to a casual scrutiny. Use it too long, bound to flicker, blur, something like that. Movement makes it more likely. Best used in moderation. When you see guards in your path you can't sneak past, for example. Maintain your distance. Act normal. No running, no jumping. Don't draw their attention. If they pay attention, they're more likely to notice flaws in the hologram.
Okay.
Excellent. I'll contact you once you've found a way to get to Stellar Bay. If you have any questions, come see me in my lab. And remember, don't trust the board. They'll try to win you over with promises of wealth and power, but it's a lie. The board's only interested in filling their own pockets. If we don't put a stop to them, they're going to run this colony to the ground.
Transmission ended. If you are ready to depart, please select a destination on your navigation terminal.
Okay. Venera, laboratorio, monarca. Ilia. Ah, se fue ese momento. En las dependencias del capitán. Acá. Sudario holográfico. El suelo holográfico proyecta un disfraz sobre tus acompañantes y tú que o permite acceder a zonas restringidas, siempre y cuando tengas el cartucho de identificación correspondiente. El personal no autorizado no puede acceder a zonas restringidas, lo contrario, serán atacados en control. Interesante. Ahora en el mensaje anterior, qué tonto soy. El compinche del compinche. Te envío una copia de mi culebrón favorito, las aventuras especiales de Astro Acero. Tremendo. Nota del capitán. Viste en el mercado negro, ¿por qué? ¿Por qué? ¿Por qué no me da? ¿Cuál es el rayo seductor? Reductor. Juro que lo mandaba de un guantazo hasta el laberinto del tártaro. Dios. Armas, básicamente. Ahí tengo que encontrar. Ya podría poner comida y cosas así. Esto no. Acá. Acá sumo de San Papán, no sé qué chucha. Esto acá. Ah, la pieza de arma no. La armadura esa, la armadura esta. Voy a poner acá algunas armas. Armaduras no, la verdad. Pesa mucho. Las armaduras las voy a recontra tirar a la bosta. Dormir. Bien. ¿Listo? Sale de sentinela. Es becario. Pirateo. Armadura ligera y ataque a distancia, ¿no? No. Quita ahí. Bueno, no se lo puedo cambiar, así que... ya con... distancia. Entonces, 124. Bien. Una planta. Oye. Sam. Automecanoide. Ah, esta es la de este Parvati. De Parvati. Y no le voy a tocar nada, pobre. Y esto es el vicario. Hay otra habitación. Acá hay otra más y otra más. Tengo otra habitación más. Tremendo. ¿Dónde está Parvati? El motor, no la vi. Y dijo que estaba trabajando en el motor y todo eso. Ah, acá está.
I could probably spend years fixing this boat, stem to stern. Mostly, yeah. I lived in the maintenance office near all my life. Mr. Thompson never let me forget how funny that was. He meant funny as in odd. It's not normal for anyone to do as their parents. You take a vocational test. That decides your schooling and your career. When I tested out for maintenance, everyone figured it was on account of my dad. They were real unhappy with us.
Red.
Well, I'm good at making things work the way they ought. Not so much at doing such to somebody else's schedule. There's times I'm working deep in the guts of a loader, getting it all running perfect. Then I look up to see it's tomorrow, and I've blown another deadline. Anyhow, I was happy to get back home. I didn't care much for schooling. Yep, nothing much had changed. Everything was a little grayer, a little dirtier. Dad met me at the shuttle and gave me a big old hug. I noticed straight away that he was moving slower and stiffer. He made a little grunt when I squeezed. About a year. I tried to do more of the work so he could rest. His heart gave him pains. Dad never said that he loved me, you know? I knew on account of him showing it. How he'd stay up late to help with my projects or listen to my fretting. Oh gosh. Look at the time. Sorry to bend your ears so long. And I got so much to do before this ship's in decent shape.
Ouch. Ouch, que é isso, Rick? Rick agora. E Rick. Robux.
I find myself marveling at the complex simplicity of the Fibonacci spiral. I'm sure you know what that's like. Something
claro.
vexing you, Captain? Baconu, the author, had some interesting theories about man's perception of reality that I thought could be applied to our attempts to decipher the plan. Unfortunately, he was also one of the founders of the Philosophist school of thought, so the book is banned in this colony. Of course. Are you ready to break into security on the Groundbreaker?
Ok. Voy a la pionera y el chon quiere hackear unas weas. La pionera.
The Groundbreaker has approved our request for docking, Captain. You're free to disembark.
Can we talk?
Cheer.
Hey, Captain. I heard that Groundbreaker's got a real good engineer. A lady named Junlei Tennyson?
Junlei Tennyson.
I was thinking that maybe I ought to meet her. If you got time to swing us by, I mean. I don't got much experience fixing actual spaceships. I bet you a can of Borston beans she could teach me all manner of stuff. Thanks, Captain. I'll be sure to make it worth your time. Did you want to talk about something else?
No. Bajamos. ¿Puedo elegir los dos? Así puedo.
Smells like grease and unwashed bodies. Just as I remembered.
That's not the point. This halfwit just knocked out one of my workers.
Yeah, with
Bien. Vamos con esto. Hay que ir a aprender ingeniería.
Customs and inspection, right this way.
Identification, please. Captain Hawthorne, you said. Let me apologize in advance. I'm about to ruin your day. According to your ship's record, you've been flagged by the board. Your ship will be impounded until such a time as they see fit to lift it.
But we've hardly been out of Edgewater long enough to get in trouble.
Well, isn't this wonderful? The captain's done something to get on the board's bad side. Now, hold on. This isn't the end of the world. Probably. You'll want to take it up with Udom Bedford, our board representative here on Groundbreaker. His office is located along the starboard wall of the promenade. Shines like a Byzantium commode. Can't miss it. Access to that information is above my pay grade, and I've turned down 3 promotions, so it stays that way. I shouldn't be mentioning it, but what the hell? This here, impounding your ship, it doesn't happen much. The board knows we don't take kindly to their interfering in our operations. If I had to take a guess as to why, you must have riled up someone important. You take the starch out of them, well, you won't hear any complaints from me. Oh, and if you're headed that way, would you mind doing me a favor? Wanda Dorset over in sickbay, tell her the shipment's not in yet. It's not coming in anytime soon, and if she'd be so obliged to get off my ass about it.
Okay.
Much appreciated. Is there anything else I can help you with? You noticed, huh?
Ese es inteligente.
What can I say? We're passionate folks, and the board can't abide that independent spirit, especially not when it might impact their bottom line. All their interstellar freighters come through us, and we skim a few bits off the top in manifest processing fees with every one. Folks around here will bluster that the board hates our freedom, but really, they know we can stop their out-system shipments anytime we like, and that terrifies them. It's a delicate balance, right? We could cancel their freighters' docking privileges in retaliation, but where'd that lead us? They got assault cruisers, gunships, and a handful of mining operations at their fingertips. We push them too hard, maybe they decide we'd be better in 10 trillion little pieces. Or they cobble together a new groundbreaker and put us out of business.
The board wouldn't do that, would they?
The board is necessary to provide order to the colony. They believe it's their prerogative to overrun you. But whether you allow that is up to you. It's a tough line to walk, no doubt about that. But we make do all right. So far, anyway. Sure thing. Be seeing you.
Para cumplir un objetivo de la misión, necesitas entrar en una zona restringida donde te dispararán nada más verte. Usar el disfraz te ayudará a evitar que reciban de forma hostil en cuanto asomes la nariz.
Security. I can check the...
Ok. ¿Y eso como el equipo? O sea, como que... ¿Cómo de cuánto? Números. Esta cuenta está azul.
Departures register to find out which crew the scholar shipped in and out with.
Le metí cosas en clave. A ver, ajustes, controles. Hmm. No, no se puede. Supongo.
Try not to be distracted by the glare of the adverts. Lots of unsavory types about.
Go back to Byzantium, you gold-plated bastard.
Have you seen this man? Reward offers for information needed. Report any sightings to your local board embassy.
This is Halcyon.
Thought there'd be more machinery. Must be housed on a sub-level.
Junlei Tennyson. I'm captain around here, but chief to my friends. Hope you don't mind the formal introduction. Groundbreaker doesn't see many visitors. I heard we had someone in impound. Wish I could help. I gave the bureaucrats a motive authority over freight traffic, and it rankles them good when I challenge it. Just so we understand each other, I'm the final word on the ship. The Mardits, the crew, the engineers, their family. I hope there won't be any problems while you're visiting.
Creo que no.
Good. Don't go making trouble, and chances are you won't find any. That's how I like it here. So what brings you to Groundbreaker? I'm curious, even though 9 times out of 10 the answer's just passing through.
Solo estoy de paso.
Interesting. The powers that be paint an ugly picture of Monarch. Critters and such. Maybe someone in the promenade can get you the right weapon for the job. We see a lot of the same faces coming and going. Most of them board spies and corporate sprats. Makes it hard to trust outsiders. You seem different, so welcome aboard.
What? I didn't think you just...
Parvati, is it? That's a lovely name. What can I do for you?
I was just thinking, I haven't got much experience working with actual, real spaceships, Miss Junlei. Chief Junlei.
Junlei is fine.
Okay. Since you run a whole space station, I was wondering if... Well, maybe you could teach me some things. I could message you later, maybe?
I'd be happy to make the time, Parvati. You can ask me anything.
Right. In person. Sure thing, Captain. Wow, great. I'll do that then. Messages. Later. Oh, your name's pretty too. I should have said... Sorry. I like it. Honest. Sorry. Couldn't have done it without your moral support, Captain.
Now, if there's nothing else, there are other parts of the ship begging for my attention. Groundbreaker's radiators need replacement parts. They're dumping superheated air into my ship. Only the board has access to new parts, and I won't let them swindle me into a corner. None. Every time I give in to the board, Groundbreaker loses its freedom. Soon there won't be anything left. I can't allow that. The board isn't helping, and my resources are spread thin. If I don't get those radiators back online, Groundbreaker, everyone on board, will be cooked alive. Reasonable, huh? That's the best news I've heard all day. According to my grandmother's old schematics, the parts we need should be in the back bays. Sorry, I forgot not everyone knows this ship like I do. The back bays are on a lower deck, long abandoned and a haven for miscreants now. Good. Once you've obtained the parts, we can proceed to the next phase of repairs.
Bien.
This is Halcyon News. We interrupt.
11 misiones.
Hey, McRed, were you expecting any company?
A neighbor from above approaches our realm. Back away now, or you'll parley with the king. Look at this ripe piece of meat just sizzling on the grill. Yum, yum. Time to feed the flames. It's nothing personal. Promise.
Is this what carbon monoxide poisoning looks like? I don't think this deck is too well ventilated.
Speaking for myself, Captain, I am not of a mind to be murdered by a psychopath who plays with fire.
You came with the crew. Welcome. We got plenty of space to spread out, but only room for one captain. I know this ain't a toy, neighbor from above. It's a catalyst, just like me. Keep talking. I like the sound of your voice. Passing through? This is dead-end territory. You talk like you're on a journey. The path matches your step. Stretches out ahead of you. Yeah. The second floor is my place. Off limits to the likes of you. Whatever business brings you down to my domain, keep it local.
Got it? Inside voices.
You get that automech patch? McRed wants it up and running.
I'm trying to think of a good name before I wake it up.
Don't give it a name. What are you thinking? Hasn't got a heart? Not like us.
Thing has pizza. It's all open-faced pasta.
You've been getting into the body stash again, haven't you?
Incoming!
I smite you in the name of the law!
Tremendo.
Nice hit!
Oh, me cagaron bien a palo. Me tengo un tiempito rápido. Ya me tengo que bañar para ir a trabajar, así que... sí me da el éxito.
Hey, McRed,
Were you expecting any company?
5.
A neighbor from above. Look at this ripe piece of meat just sizzling on the grill. Yum, yum. Time to... You came with... I know this...
That's right, sir. Just the parts. We'll be in and out in a jiff. You won't even know we were here.
Tennyson just keeps feeding the furnace, don't she? We're still playing with her last sacrifice out back, with the crew. You don't just ask a king for a favor when you're standing in his court. You bring tribute, sacrifices, prophecy, shit like that. Tribute it is. And ain't this just a royal sum?
Don't we need those bits, Captain? To buy the key from the lady?
The principles of the universe dictate that sometimes we must appease others to keep from being roasted alive.
You've got the run of the kingdom. Up those stairs, you'll find the parts. My crew won't get in your way. Lay it on me, boss. I'm good for it. Ship got impounded. The crew and I racked up a debt while we were grounded, and my baby got sold to Sublight. Scrapped for part. That's bureaucracy for you. Am I your dark reflection? Shit, must be getting old. Stay here too long, and the groundbreaker drains you like a fuel tank.
Básicamente le pasó lo mismo con nosotros.
You can come and go in my little kingdom.
Persistamos la banda de plata. Roti, ¿qué dice? 137 bits nomás. Oh, 5000, ¿de qué estamos hablando?
Smells kind of like old Bess's outflow pipes.
Good stuff. I've been tripping for days.
Careful with that shit. You'll end up as crazy as he
Che,
is.
¿cómo no te da eso?
It takes crazy.
Wake up. There's no such thing as pizza. It's all open-faced pasta.
Lay's gonna be pleased as pie when we show her these.
Bien. Easy. Facilito. 137 bits nomás, yo lo consigo en una misión, tranquilamente. Vamos que cierres.
This is Halcyon.
You've returned, and in one piece. Color me impressed. Good work. I'll take those. I need you to head through the large door at the far end of engineering. Take the elevator down into the machinery shaft. There's a terminal in the back. Activate it when I call over the ship's PA. And bring weapons. There's a slight mantipillar infestation.
Voy a terminar en la parte trasera. Llévalo como te dice.
Don't worry, Miss Junlei. We'll be super gentle with the ship. You don't got a thing to worry about. I mean, aside from fires and such.
I'm genuinely heartened to hear that. Thank you.
Por acá no era. O sí. ¿Qué? Música de ascensorito, increíble. Bien. ¿Entendí? Entendí.
That's the last of them.
Tells me the security mechanicals booted up and killed a bunch of mantis. Bad news. Diagnostic says their circuit boards are fused from the heat, so they're not too picky about who they kill next. Sneak past if you can. Shoot back if you need to. I can always fix them later.
I'm going. Coming back.
¿Por qué tenía que venir acá? ¿Por acá? No sé. Aquí, hijo de puta. Tu personaje puede activar una oferta de flaqueza. Acepta la flaqueza opcional. Pero te torna una ventaja. Aumentar -1, un punto de ventaja. Toma. Acá. Que activar una cosa, ¿vale? Tengo que tirar, creo.
System alert.
Trouble incoming, Captain.
Security.
The strong survive and the weak perish.
Venga.
No problem. Here goes nothing.
Tremendo.
No hard feelings, okay?
Banco, las habilidades están buenísimas. Me tienen que avisar esto. Por altavoz. Wahoo. No. Ah, sí, nivel. Ahora es por lo que no.
This is Halcyon News. We interrupt your regularly scheduled...
My boys are returning to green. What a weight that is off my shoulders. I don't normally tolerate outsiders mucking about in my station's guts, but you're all right. The temperature should be dropping as we speak. I'll see to it the crew knows who kept us all from boiling alive. If you've got time, I believe Edna has a comms issue that could use your attention. I also authorized Doc and Furu to sell you our premium meds.
Oh, 3.000 pesos. 3.000 pesitos, papá. Mirar estos gogles. 15 ingeniería. Por el piojo. Aunque se me da pistolas 5, ¿sí? Le da Parvati. Ahí va. ¿Usted podría cambiar la armadura capaz? No, no, tiene 11, tiene armadura, está re bien, hermano. Una gorrita ahí. Bandida. Put on bed for ladies.
Got my sights on you.
I can't believe the board allows an unaffiliated station like this to stay open.
Contract,
Ah, the board. Organized, Ah, yes. Wheeler messaged me you were coming. He must be the captain of the Unreliable, a vessel that used to be helmed by one Alex Hawthorne. And you are not he. Has something happened to my favorite scruffy freelancer? Oh no, this is terrible. My dear friend, what devilry is this? In whose miserable fever dream am I trapped? Oh, Alex. There were so many arguments we'd yet to have. He was my dearest friend. My only friend. You have his ship, you must know. That picture of us on the promenade, me hugging him, him wincing. I keep a copy beside my bed. Did he? Ah, that's just like him. Such a sentimental man. Tell me, how did he die? No! How dreadful. That was always Alex's greatest fear, you know. Devoured by those fiends. Becoming one with their droppings. Right. You're going important places, I'm sure. Big, exciting, important places. There, I've removed the flag from your ship. I'm terribly sorry for the inconvenience. However, before you go, Alex promised to tell me the location of Phineas Wells. I'm sure you've seen his wanted posters all over the colony. Did Alex tell you where Wells might be? Anything at all? That's... well, that's just terrible news. Law, what am I going to do now? The board will have my head. Oh, I'm sorry. This is terribly unprofessional of me. Is there anything else I might help you with? It's personal business, I'm afraid. Information on the whereabouts of Phineas Wells would go a long way. It's... well... it's fine, really. It's now, if you've nothing else, please see yourself out.
Have you seen this man? Reward offered for information leading to the capture of noted terrorist Phineas Wells. Report any sightings to your local board embassy.
Bueno, yo igual ya me tendría que ir retirando. Pero me voy a subir primero los puntos de talento. A ver qué tengo. Se requería 40. Liderazgo quizás. Persuasión y mentira. A 30. O ingeniería quizás. Voy a subirlo a 5 a esto. Espera, eran 10 puntos, ¿no? Sí, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Y 5 de infiltración. Tremendo. A este. Y te apunté ya a 50 en pistola. Nice. Tenemos acá inspiración. Se requería este borde a 40. Diálogo. Sí.
I know
Ahí estaría.
Groundbreaker's safe from melting to bits now. Lots of good people can rest easy because of you. Well, I didn't expect her to be so tall. And did you see the size of her arms? What? No. Maybe? I don't... It's like somebody reached into my head and pulled out what I didn't know I wanted. You know how hard it is to find anybody who likes working with tools in a little town like Edgewater? I just met her. How could I be? All I know is I want to talk with her more. Did you see how everybody on Groundbreaker listens to Junlei? She's just, here's how to fix it. And they trust her. It's just... she's calm and knows what to do. I wish I was half so confident.
Pobrecito. ¿Y vos? Ni me hablas, pibe. ¿Dónde? Voy a ponerlo acá. Y guardar rápido. Le he dejado una imagen de Parvati. Está bonito Parvati. Y acá termino, si no, no tengo mal